A little while ago, I made an any percent guide for Rack 1 on PS2, and this video is going to be a bit of a companion piece to that one. Because in the previous video, there was a few spots where I made a little mistake or I just forgot about something. So this is going to be some extra information, a little bit more, a few more tidbits for the beginners who want to pick up this game. Now the first thing is here on Blarg. In the previous video, right after getting the grind boots, I said to reload the game and then take the shuttle into the warship. That's completely unnecessary, and frankly I'm not sure why I forgot about this. You can just do a little backtrack here, and there's some ammo there, or pardon me, some nanotech there if you need a bit of extra health. And just like you bounced around to get the grind boots, you can bounce around to leave, do this little backtrack, and we're going to go into the room that normally has the gold bolt. Now I've already collected the gold bolt on this file, don't worry about that. The point is, we're going to get into this corner, and we're going to do a cam flip, or a cam clip. Now just take a look at the map real quick. The warship in the map is all the way over here, but it's actually loaded into the level up in this corner. Now before doing this flip, take a look at your money. I have over 4,000 bolts, which means I'll be able to flip straight into where the infobot is in the warship. If you don't have 4,000 bolts yet, you're going to want to go into the warship and collect a little bit of money first, and then just do the cam flip that I showed you in the first video. So I'm going to cam flip here. There's the warship. This is the room that has the infobot. You collect that, and at this point, you're going to load the game to get back to your ship, and then you can just leave immediately. Here on Rilgar, I feel I didn't do a great job explaining exactly what I'm doing when I'm kind of getting the glide and swim around. So let me just go through that again. Now, basically, right around that spot right there is where you can kind of glide on the rocks. Which means I'm jumping out of the water and then I'm pressing X again and holding it to get a little glide, and that kind of resets the timer so that the fish won't come out and eat you right away. Once you've done that, you're going to swim through the gap there, and you can't just swim straight on because you still don't have quite enough time to make it all the way. Instead, once you're past this wall, you're going to turn Ratchet to the right a little bit so that you can get him onto a closer platform, basically. So once again, right around here is where I can glide, and then once I'm through the wall, I'm turning to the right so that I can land right around there. If you try to land on this section, it's probably not going to work because it just takes a little bit longer to get Ratchet into this area, and the fish is probably going to come and eat you. There are a couple things I want to point out on Umbris. First of all, right at the start, rather than going over all the way over there, what you can do is off of this second swingshot node is kind of go off to the right here and glide straight onto this platform, saving you a little bit of time. And from this section, again, I feel I didn't do a great job of explaining it. So first let me pull up the map here. So what we're going to do is we want to eventually get into this big circular room, and we're going to do so by getting into this kind of banana shape first. Now this banana shape, that's the water that we're going to jump in. So I'm going to angle myself so that Ratchet is kind of facing to the right towards that room there. And so when I long jump in there, I end up straight into this banana room. I should have come up with a better name. Anyway, and then we are going to again jump through the wall to get into the big circular room. And then once you're in this circular room, rather than jumping up here and then going into that room up top, you can literally just long jump through here, and you're going to end up in the boss room. That's a little bit faster than what I showed in the previous video. I want to go over this little skip once more on Orxon. I've seen plenty of people struggle with it, and I think I can shed some light on there. First of all, maybe it's easier, maybe not if you do a ground pound cancel. I'm here to tell you it is 100% not necessary to do a ground pound cancel here. It's really all about the angle. So if I hop on this rock, I can see exactly where, well, it's kind of hidden behind the leaves there, but you can see exactly where the node is, and that's not where you want to be aiming. If you're aiming more to the right, you know, more towards that platform over there or in this little gap, that's where you want to be aiming. So no ground pound cancel here. I'm just double jump, thrust, hold circle, and you should latch on. Still on Orxon here. This one maybe isn't relevant to the tutorial that I posted, because in that one I did the whole Clank section, and so this door was open. But maybe you're on PS3 and you did the tree clip, or maybe you've learned the camera clips. Either way, you're gonna have to get through this door, and I figured I'd show it. You just want to jump in here, make sure Ratchet has that falling animation, and then just kind of hold forward and wiggle the stick, and you should clip straight through without issue. I briefly talked about this in the tutorial, but I didn't really get to show you. Basically, I'm going to use a ground pound to get so much downward speed that I go straight through the icy water and right into the death plane. And so to do this, usually it works when you get a very fast like single jump, and then almost immediately you want to do the ground pound. And you should go straight through. This little out of bounds on Gemlik is another one that I kind of glossed over. So I just want to go over it once more and really emphasize the ground pound cancel and practicing going neutral before you go for that ground pound. Right? Because if I go here and I'm still holding the stick when I try to do ground pound cancel, I'm just going to get a regular old thrust, no ground pound in sight. So really got to make sure that you're going neutral and then mash X to get up here. So once more, I'm jumping around, going neutral, and then I am holding the stick in and mashing X to get that double jump. And don't worry, you know, it might take a couple seconds, but you will get that double jump. Still on Gemlik, and I just want to show you what happens if you're aiming Ratchet a little bit too far left here. Right, so if I'm going this way, you're just going to end up back in the fight, and then when you exit, you're back here. So really make sure that you're keeping Ratchet more to the right here, and then it's really just in front of this platform where the red lights come on, and then, you know, Quark says his line. When those come on, you know that you can death abuse, and you'll be good to go from there. On to Oltanis, and I figure while I'm here, I might as well show you this little corner cut. Basically, I'm just going to be doing a spaced out double jump right at the ledge, and I should get a grab onto that other platform. I like to move the camera up so I know exactly when I'm approaching the ledge. Space out a double jump, get the ledge grab, and that should save you a couple of seconds anyway. I think I mentioned this in the description of the other video, but I really want to hammer the point home here that at this point I have far too much ammo. I only need one ammo at this point in the game. I only need to throw one more bomb for the whole run. And if I have too much ammo, then ammo crates will simply not spawn in the boss fight. And we rely on those ammo drops. So basically, at the end here, while I'm on my way back to the ship, I just want to be tossing out all these extra bombs. You know, I got 4 left, that's perfect. And we can move on from there. A couple little things to show you on Fleet. First of all, there's another out of bounds here that's a little bit faster. You want to get into this corner, and don't move the camera this way. You want to be moving the camera over to the right so that it's going up against the glass. So, as with any flip, camera against the glass, and then you're going to move the camera to the right, and you're going to flip once the glass is kind of through the camera. You'll see what I mean. Right there. You can flip through, and that'll save you a little bit of time over the old school out of bounds. And then here, right after getting the codebot, you want to make sure to not get the checkpoint by ensuring that you jump before you reach this horizontal line right here. Before I reach that line, I'm going to do a regular long jump, and then it'll work every time. I'm just going to go through this whole sequence once more on Quartu, because there was a lot of things going on all at once. First of all, I didn't show this one in the other video, but you can get a little SI here if you don't want to do the PDA side flip. Breaking any boxes in here will gift you with 15,000 bolts, and you can still control Ratchet to jump away. Death Abuse to get back here. And then as soon as you land here, you've got the ship checkpoint, so you can Death Abuse once again to get back to your ship. So those are all the little extra bits I have for you for this run. Hopefully it was able to clear up some questions that you may have had. Since making that guide, I've also uploaded like an in-depth, not necessarily a tutorial, but like an in-depth analysis of the final boss fight. So you can take a look at that as well. I'll throw a link into the description. As ever, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask here or in the Ratchet Discord. Plenty of awesome people who are more than willing to help out. So with that, happy running!